How many concerts did they have out at Bosse Field? Was that a regular occurrence? Or I know the one that I seen in the book was John Lee Hooker, I think Black Oak, Arkansas, in 72. Was that a common occurrence there or not too often?
Well, they had a couple of them pretty close together there. There was one in 72 and one in 74. I got Allman Brothers, August 20th, 74, and the other one was the All Day Rock Festival, July 2nd, 1972. I have the book open, or I wouldn't have been able to pull up those dates. And, that was then. And then way back, they used to have, some other concerts there, like these Song Fest, and, it was kind of a talent show that they would do out there. And they had some of that, and they had political rallies and other things. I mean, there were a lot of non-sporting events at Bosse Field, as well as, football, baseball, and in the early days, track. They ran track out there.
Okay.
No, I had no idea. I either missed that part of the early part of the book or didn't get that far yet.
Well, there is mention of it, but it's toward the back. And then there was one time, in the 20s, there was an Olympian named Hart Hubbard who ran an exhibition there. And he was a gold medalist in the long jump, and I think a gold medalist on a relay as well, and an Olympic sprinter and long jumper. And he came in there and did at one time he was a world record holder and came in and did an exhibition there.
Huh. I just think it'd be in this day and age, and I had mentioned this to Jimmy before the show, with the neighborhood having grown up around that field, I don't know that you'll have a chance to see another kind of a music concert type of situation because of noise ordinances and everything else. I can't imagine that neighborhood would
have to do it in the afternoon.
Would be down for that kind of thing on a Thursday night, And obviously now with the Otters being there, where are you going to find time to throw a concert together in the summer? I mean, they hardly. There's room where they're on the road and that kind of stuff, but are you going to want to risk tearing that field up for that kind of stuff?
No, I don't think they would. But, in the fall, it's a possibility, I would think, because then you have by the next spring, you're going to be able to fix whatever, damage was done. And even when they did these concerts back in the day, the promoters had to have a bond about damage to the field. But, that was just part of it. So,
well, keeping the upkeep of the park, and the Bustings have done an incredible job. The Otters are rock solid as far as I can tell from the outside looking in, at least. They've been here for several years now. But there's full committees that go into this. And one of the names that come out to me, and you can rattle off more names, I'm sure, but Bob Greasy's always had his hand in helping Bosse Field, has he not?
Bob Greasy, Don Mattingly, as much as any two people. Greasy maybe more than any of them. It's hard. It's really hard to quantify that. But I know for years when they had the initial Friends of Bosse Field gatherings at the Green Convention Center, and this was Ed Noddle, Paulie Grease, and Jim Brownlee when he was still coach of the Aces baseball team. They put it together, and Greasy for many, many years auctioned off his own pair of Super Bowl tickets, and some years that's $5,000, $6,000, $8,000, and you add that up over the course of 20-something years, and he has personally been responsible for hundreds of thousands of dollars going into Bosse Field or youth sports in Evansville through now what is the Hot Stove League.
And I think that has a lot to say as well. That's probably two of the biggest names in this area that went on to professional sports. I mean, we have Jay Cutler. We have a lot of athletes that have come out of here. Kevin Hardy, Deke Cooper, a lot of guys. But Mattingly and Greasy are probably the two biggest names to come out of this area as far as success for a long period of time at the professional level. And that says a lot about our community, I think, does it not, that they're still that involved?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Don Mattingly still lives in Evansville in the off-season. Greasy comes back here regularly. There was a time, it was last summer or the summer before, where Greasy just wanted to go back to Bosse Field because he went there as a child. He first started going there when he was 8 or 9 years old to watch the Braves play. And he went with his brother Bill, and they went back just to watch a game, showed up unannounced, and just hung out. Went and watched the game, and Greasy, told me this story, and it's in the book, where, he said, we just went and sat in the places, we used to sit, and the places in the stands and the places where they used to hang out outside and looking for a foul ball, because that was the only way they could get baseballs, consistently, is they would get the foul balls and then they would take them home and play with them. They never kept them or anything, or, put them on the shelf like kids would now, or got autographs. They took them home and played with them. And one of the things that I thought was kind of interesting, and it also lends itself to, the career that Bob Griese had after Bosse Field, is he said, I threw some no-hitters there, but I couldn't tell you against who or when. And he said, but, he had a warm, fuzzy feeling when he sat up in the stands. And I went back and actually found one of them, and it's in the book, and I won't try and pull it up. It may be in the timeline, but that's the thing that people remember. Andy Bennis, who, if you're going to put a number 3 on that list, it would probably have to be Andy. And, he remembers how special his junior season was when he was destined to be the number 1 pick in the Major League Baseball draft, and how special it was at Bosse Field. He said it was just coincidence, but he felt like whenever he pitched there, he threw 10 mile an hour faster on the jugs gun. And, and they had some anecdotal evidence to support that, but he's just, he said it was a special place for him as well.
Steve Ford, our guest, author of Bosse Field, the third oldest ballpark in the U.S., turns 100. Do you need to go? Do you got somewhere to be?
No, I'm good.
Can you stick around for a little bit longer?
Oh, sure,
All
absolutely.
Right. Let's continue this conversation next. It's Ford and O'Brien, ESPN Evansville 105.3, and online, ESPNEvansville.com.